Sure. Okay. It's vitamin B1, okay, vitamin B2, vitamin B3, and there's another form of vitamin B3 called NADH, which is another form of B3, and that's also very helpful for brain, slowing down brain aging. We also have B6, okay, folic acid. Better than folic acid is folate, because it's the activated form of folic acid and the form that the body can utilize more easily. We also have, and then the vitamin B12. There's also choline, which is very important for brain health. Some of you are familiar with phosphatidylcholine, which is in lecithin. One of the reasons, by the way, why egg yolk is very critical to healthy aging is the fact that it contains choline and inositol, and that's not in the egg whites. So people who are just eating egg whites are not getting that part of the B vitamins that are very important for brain health. You can also take it as a supplement, phosphatidylserine, phosphatidylcholine, but you know, why not get some of that at least through your food too? So those are the most important out of all the B complex vitamins. Pardon? Carnitine? Yes, we're going to come to that. We haven't come to that yet. Sure. Yes. You had another question up there? Yeah, dosages, minimum would be, 25 milligrams of all of them together. Yeah, exactly. I mean, typically, the folate is usually minimum 400, but I usually prefer people to take 800 to 1,000 milligrams. Or micrograms, because that's much more conducive to healthy aging. Because we need more B vitamins as we get older, by the way, because our cells don't absorb the Bs as easily, so you actually need to have a higher requirement for B vitamins as you get older, not less. And the max, I wouldn't exceed 100 milligrams if you're doing it in a tablet form. Yes?
What do you think about vitamin water?
The vitamin water? I mean, it does work because the vitamins are dissolved in the water, so the absorption is actually very good, but you just have to be careful not to take too much of it. Because there's a lot of, magnesium, also potassium. You don't want to do too much potassium, magnesium, because that can give you the runs, it can give you diarrhea. So, one bottle would be fine, but I wouldn't just drink only that all day. That would be too much.
Do you recommend a multivitamin? Those super multivitamins like Metagenics would give that kind of encompasses everything, or do you like it bundled into separate little tablets like vitamin B complex, and then you've got your magnesium, and then you've got your...
Okay, good question. If you're a person that's generally healthy, then a multi works very well. Okay, when you get into treating a particular condition, you have to do much more separately. So if you're doing a multivitamin, that would be fine. But magnesium and calcium should always be taken away from a multi, so that should be kept separately. So you wouldn't want to do both at the same time. So if you take your multi, don't think that that's enough calcium and enough magnesium. It's not. You do need to keep those separate, the calcium separately from the magnesium. Okay? Exactly, and the multis are best in the morning, and then the calcium, magnesium are best later, yeah. But you can take actually calcium and magnesium together too, yeah, that's fine. Just the ratio you have to do like a 2-to-1 ratio, so it's double the amount of calcium to magnesium. And plus the vitamin D, of course. Yes.
When's the best time to take your supplements?
Okay, usually throughout the day. And vitamins are best absorbed with food if you're doing it in a tablet form. So if you're taking it in a liquid form, then you can take it in a liquid and drink it throughout the day. But if you're doing it in a tablet form, then it needs to be with a meal. So it's better to space it out. So take your multi in the morning with food, take your calcium at lunch or at dinner. Okay, so that's much better. Yes?
Does it matter if you buy the expensive vitamin pills or the inexpensive store brand?
Where it matters is in the binding that they put into the capsule or the tablet. As often as you can avoid anything with magnesium stearate or titanium dioxide, which are fillers that they put into the tableting and into the capsule, what happens is it interferes with the absorption of the supplement that you're taking. So you're not getting as much of the supplement. And some of the more expensive brands usually are better in that regard. Again, one of the reasons why I like Premier Research Labs for what they put out is the fact that because they don't use any excipients when they're putting the tablets or the capsules together. So they're very particular about that. So the absorption is much greater. You get a much greater absorption. And if you can do things in a powdered form, that's even better. So if you can get your multivitamin or your greens powder in a powdered form, the absorption, because you're mixing it into juice or into water, is going to be much greater. Okay, good. Yes?
I just heard that the calcium is better to split up maybe late afternoon and then in the evening with like maybe a cracker or something, or just taking it all in one shot.
The calcium, absolutely. If you're doing a 2-a-day dosage on the calcium, definitely break it up. Now, calcium is better absorbed, though, with the protein than it is with a snack like a cracker.
Since the absorption rate on the calcium carbonate is so low, what do you recommend in its place?
Okay, good. What I do recommend is either citrate if you don't have a sensitive digestive system, or even better is chelate, which is, or some people pronounce it as chelate, C-H-E-L-A-T-E. If you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, then you need a totally different form of calcium. And the form which is called MCHC, which is actually a bone builder, then that would be a totally different type of calcium.
Do you know what it's chelated with?
Amino acids, it's protein, which is fine, which is very good, yeah. Exactly. Albion Minerals is the best company that we have in the US that does these chelating minerals. Okay, so that's actually a very good thing. Yes?
Yeah, for osteopenia or osteoporosis, which one would you recommend?
It's a calcium that has MCHC in it. MCHC. Exactly. It's a specialized form of calcium. Very good. Yes?
If you have hereditary predisposition to stones, any type of stones, though, you should stick more with this calcium citrate?
The citrate would be fine, or the chelate, actually. Either one. Very good, yeah. And then making sure you're drinking plenty of water, because a part of the reason why people develop kidney stones is they're not drinking enough water. And then making sure you have more, a 1-to-1 ratio with the magnesium to calcium, because the magnesium prevents kidney stones. Okay, so that helps the kidneys. That's actually very good for kidney function. All right, good. Any other questions on that before we move on? Good. Okay, acetyl-L-Carnitine is another very important nutrient for brain, okay, to slow down brain aging. It's spelled A-C-E-T-Y-L, and then a hyphen, L, capital L, and then another hyphen, carnitine, C-A-R-N-I-T-I-N-E. And that's another very important antioxidant to help really protect the brain against free radical exposure.
Could you please repeat it once again?
Sure, it's A-C-E-T-Y-L, and then there's a hyphen, capital L, hyphen, carnitine, C-A-R-N-I-T-I-N-E.
How many milligrams?
And the minimum on that would be 400 milligrams to take. Okay. And you can either buy them as 250 milligrams usually or 500. So if you do 500 a day, this is prevention. If you're doing it for treatment, you would double that. Okay, so if you're having already issues with memory, then you would take double the amount. Although some people have found even just doing the preventive dosages have really made a huge difference on their memory.
The study they did on that rats. It completely reversed their
It can, yes, and they have found that that's true. Actually, the doctor that won the Nobel Peace Prize on his work with acetyl-L-Carnitine actually was able to reverse the brain aging in rat animals. That's true. Yep. So it will reverse damage. It definitely will reverse damage.